Hello. Yes, it is that day. Happy Valentine's, everybody. Look at you. Wow. Somebody speak up. What's happened here?
All right, good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here and for kicking off Saturday's activities here at Daytona International Speedway. We have been joined by Jimmie Johnson. Jimmie, thank you for joining us today. You obviously had a little bit of an announcement about 30 minutes ago. Tell us a little bit about that and how you plan to approach this season.
Yeah, just really excited to get this announcement out and build some excitement around the opportunity in 27. We had a great run here last year. I think we have a real shot at winning the Daytona 500 and putting my name on here again. But just thankful for the opportunities been granted to me through my career. I didn't use the word retirement way back when in 2020. As you guys all know, I still love to compete and want to be on the track and racing. The journey as an owner and certainly where I am in life right now, to compete at the Cup level week in and week out is just a door that's shutting for me now. So I'll be able to enjoy it a bit more this year with the race this weekend and again in San Diego, and then put a bow on everything Cup-wise when we come back in 27. So it doesn't mean I'm not going to race and do other fun things. As you guys know, I've got plenty planned this year and hope to have some more fun later in the year as well. But a quick start to the year with this race, also the Mint 400 that's coming up, and then the truck race in San Diego, and just trying to find fun bucket list things to do.
All right, we'll now go to questions. If you have a question, raise your hand. We'll get a mic to you. We're going to start with Kelly and then go to Zach.
Kelly, ChronoRacer.com. Two things, Jimmie. In 2020, when you retired but not retired, as you just said, the pandemic kept you from really being able to celebrate, obviously, right, with the fans and maybe do things at the racetrack. So how much will you guys be looking at what you can do this year, being around the racetrack, how you can celebrate, or just how you can take things in that regard about your career?
Yeah, it definitely gives us that opportunity. We don't have any formal plans, but I do know and felt I was very disappointed with the pandemic and the scenario of not being with the fans at the racetrack for that final year. And it's not that I'm looking for that now, but maybe there is a moment or two in there that we can have some fun with and kind of get back into that mindset a little bit and enjoy it. But I'm not going anywhere. Clearly, I have a big stake in Legacy Motor Club, and excited about the future for the company. Excited for all the time I will be spending in our sport and around it, and help grow it. So we'll see what the year brings, but I know it'll be fun, and I know that next year here will be quite emotional to shut the door on that.
Okay, so along those same lines, you're not going anywhere as an owner, but as a driver, what do you hope to get out of, or how just conscious of the next 12 months are you going to be of taking it all in, or are there things that you want to keep yourself aware of as you go through all of this for the final time?
I have to say the induction into the Hall of Fame was the moment in time that really allowed me to reflect. And I imagine this year will be more reflection, and certainly when we come back here next year, that'll happen again. But I'm now savoring and enjoying, the emotions, feelings, conversations, all the moments around the time I've spent in this sport, and all the great times we had. So, there'll be more of that. But as I look back, the Hall of Fame, the first being nominated, which kind of knew that was coming, but the week in all the events going into the Hall of Fame, it was just such a special time, and it's really opened the door to enjoying these emotions and reflecting and letting it in. So I'm getting better at that and enjoying it, and I know we'll have another year of that.
All right, we're going to go to Zach and then Bob. Go ahead, Zach.
Zach Sterniolo, NASCAR.com. Jimmie, what do you take away from this chapter of your Cup career, adapting to the next-gen car, learning really a different style of stock car racing, and being able to race more or less on your own terms?
When I think of the 20 years, or I guess it's been probably 25 now, there's been so much innovation, so much change, from the safety side to technology. Where we race and how we race now is technical, but in an entirely new way. I feel very fortunate that I was in the generation where ingenuity and creativity really was allowed, and when we could do that stuff. Chad was one of the best at being a rule maker. He did break the rules a couple times, but we were much more rule makers than anything. And the innovation and the journey was really fun, and all the testing we were allowed to do. I can't tell you how many times at the end of a test session he'd stick his head in the window and he's like, I have no clue what this is going to do. Let's tiptoe into this. And he just always had some crazy ideas. And going on that journey with our engineering group and developing all that technology was really fun.
All right, Bob.
Bob Parker's Fox Sports. Did you coordinate the flyovers with this announcement?
No, I've blown my eardrums out, man. It's so much quieter in the jet, by the way, for those that are wondering. I had a chance to do that a few years ago, and it's peaceful in the in the aircraft.
Was there something specific about the Daytona 500 that you wanted it to be your last race, Cup race?
No, it made a lot of sense. I think as a driver that moonlights, the restrictor plate tracks or style of tracks is where you can be the most competitive. This car is so different than any generation of car I've driven before. To show up at Kansas and think that you're going to have a shot to win, even when I ran a nine race schedule, it's just not a truth that can really be seen or realized. Daytona you can, Talladega you can, Atlanta for sure. So I want to show up and be competitive, and to have my last race at an event where I could truly win it could be that cool walk-off home run.
And you left the door open for other motorsports. Is any IndyCar still in your vision, or is that door closed as well?
No, that one's closed too. Yeah.
And
The commitment it takes to be where I want to be in the field, I don't have that in me anymore. And my focus and interest is truly building this race team. And when I reflect on who I was as a 25-year-old kid jumping in that 48 car, I mean, I was up at Odark 30 with this passion and energy to chase the day and do the best that I could. I don't have that passion for that part of life anymore. And that's been a tough thing to kind of accept. And if I'm honest with myself, maybe the last year or two of driving, I was in that phase, but I mean, I had the best seat in the house. I had the best driving for the best team. I was almost in denial of maybe what was going on. And it's taken time. It took the 2 years in IndyCar and the journey that I've been on now to really reflect on that and see it. And I mean, I had 4 hours of sleep last night because we're at a sponsor event and I was up all night doing emails. And then I was over at Home Depot this morning buying plants and furniture for our hospitality area in the driver-owner lot. And that was fun. I mean, we had a great time this morning doing all that. I'm going to go over there and start putting chairs together. So it's just, I'm in a different place of life and really enjoying it.
And just kind of quickly, do you expect you would be in your third charter car, or would you plan to probably be in a fourth legacy car?
It'd be a fourth. Yeah.
All right, up front to Mike Hembry, please.
Jimmie, clearly one of the biggest parts of your legacy is the 7 championships. When Earnhardt won the 7th, we saw a lot of photos of him and Richard together, and there was promotions around that, and I guess souvenirs, whatever. Unless I'm missing a lot, it doesn't seem like you've really promoted that part of what you've done a lot. Have you thought about that? Is there more to come about that in the future, maybe? Or I'm not sure what you would do, but
Yeah.
But 7 championships.
No,
big.
that's fair. I wasn't as focused on brand, on my legacy that I was leaving behind, and failed in that respect to take advantage of the moment when I was still in the car and then exiting the car. And now where I sit in our evolution as a company, the intentionality around our name, the storytelling we plan to do as time goes on and what we want our brand to be about, gives me that chance to really put energy into it and treat that right. And hats off to the Earnhardt family and the Petty family for really carrying that on. Being famous or that part of it, and not that the others were, but I didn't pay any attention to it. And I was in such a great system at Hendrick, and they did such an amazing job promoting me in the moment that when I left, I just wasn't prepared to keep that going. And I regret that I haven't. but I still have time ahead of me, and obviously deeply involved in the sport and can do that now.
All right, I think we had one in the middle. Go ahead.
Come on, Roy.
Actually, Mike asked most of my question, but is there some talk in the background to be more of a face of the franchise for your team, where you're really out there more, or NASCAR, or even the Hall of Fame? Because you're seeing, different people out there. I think people would benefit by seeing your presence out there.
Without a doubt, yes, that is a big part of going forward. When I got involved with Maury, and we renamed the company, we were working in that direction. Had some other things to focus on more so at that point in time. Then our tragedy happened, and we we chose to go to England and just have our time as a family, and then stayed a second year. And it was really an incredible year for our family to be together and grow and heal. And we got back, I guess, August of 25. And now that I have control of the company and a lot of other elements are in play, I can really lean into that. So I was going to get started a few years ago, but a little behind schedule, and we'll do a lot more of that now. Yep.
All right, Lee.
Lee Spencer, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio and CatchFence.com. How did the Helmet of Heroes initiative come along?
We have a great relationship with Pi Barker and Bart Proctor, the CEO there. His support of John Hunter and coming into Legacy with us, and the growing friendship and understanding of their business has really led to this opportunity. As a kid, I wanted to be a fireman. That was my, it was so present around me growing up in fire country. My best friend, his father was the captain of the local fire department, and I just thought they were the coolest people ever. And so as we've been able to understand Bart's business and the various points of interest, and wanting to use the Daytona 500 as a platform to do good and raise awareness for a cause, when they brought it to us, it was a very easy yes, and excited to represent the Fallen Firefighters Foundation and raise some awareness for them. They're going to take the helmet and auction it off, do something with it, but excited to draw that attention to them.
All right, Kelly has a follow-up up front.
Jimmie, real quick, on the competition side, you had made the comment the other day in your scrum, I didn't get a chance to follow up about your collaboration with Gibbs this year, and it took some people by surprise. So I was just wondering, what the detail of how that will look and how that will work this year between Legacy and Gibbs.
Yeah, it's really just an evolution of how we can all work closer together and in more alignment and closer together with Toyota TRD. Toyota's been very focused on small numbers and tremendous support to their race teams. And we've had a lot of growing to do as a company, and did a lot of that last year. And through that evolution and building trust and respect, both directions and how to manage all of that, we're at a great point in time where we're shoulder-to-shoulder partners with them. And all, of course, working for Toyota on this journey to win races and championships. And we still have a lot of growing and maturing to do as a company, but I think I'm confident it will be noticed this year as we get into the schedule and get racing, and excited for the future and how we can all collaborate more together.
All right, any final questions for Jimmie? Okay.
Oh, hey. I know as I got older and, the fire kind of smoldered for the passion I have, one thing that kind of stoked it was being a mentor to others and to youngers, and to pass the information that I gleaned. Are you to that point yet where you get a really big kick and a kind of a passion out of being a mentor to others, whether it's drivers or people inside your team?
I do, and I wish that I had more experience in this car to directly help Eric and John Hunter. I don't necessarily for the car, but the outside parts in life. I love that. It is so rewarding. And something I've also really enjoyed was and being the nucleus of a team and getting people to work together. And in my day, it was really about 15 to 20 people, just that road crew and a small group of the 48 team. And now it's 140 men and women at Legacy, and we'll be growing as we bring on that third car and get closer to 200 employees. And it fills a bucket and gives me a lot of purpose and something I really enjoy. Yep.
All right, go ahead.
Dustin Albino, JC. Jimmie, what other motorsport events are still on your bucket list after NASCAR?
Man, anything with an engine. I was just with Marty and McGee, and McGee mentioned the Bonneville Salt Flats, and I mean, I've never been. I mean, that's something I should probably try to do. So I'm going to figure out. I know our Toyota friends are here, so guys, what can we go break a speed record with? Perfect. Between Toyota and Carvana, they're like, yes, great idea. Let's go do that. So we're racing the Mint 400. I get to go back and go to my roots, back to my roots, and compete with Troy Herbst here in a handful of weeks. So excited about that one. But trying to find those marquee moments, those neat opportunities to go racing. Yep.
All right. Any final questions? Jimmie, oh, one more? Okay, we'll close with Deb.
Deb Williams, Auto Week. Jimmie, to kind of expand on that, would you like to come back, do the Rolex 24, maybe 24 hours of Le Mans again?
I would. I really, really would. I had an invite for Rolex. They come, typically as a driver, those opportunities show up in December. People start, looking around for drivers. And if I'm to do it, I need to plan in like July or something to pull that off. The off season is just so busy for the team. We have so much expansion taking place that when a very credible offer came my way, I had to sadly turn it down. I just didn't have the bandwidth to do it. But I certainly would look at that. Definitely.
All right. Jimmie, thank you so much for
Thank you, everybody.
spending the time with us this morning, and best of luck in the Daytona 500.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, yeah.